Hello there and welcome. Oh, I love these cinematic roots. Do you like the intro? Do you like my logo? I finished the entrance area. Yay! We started building this in live and on a live stream, and I finished it. So there will be no build video for it. I don't think. Maybe one day I'll go find all the footage. I don't know. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. I'm Triz. If you're new here, welcome here for the first time. I'm Triz, as I said, and I talk too much, way too much. I babble a lot, and I like talking about weird things, especially. So, welcome. Well, on these videos, I talk too much and about weird things. On my live streams, I rant a lot about the animals being naughty. So, please subscribe and come join me soon, very soon. I'm just trying to edit it into a watchable format. But very soon there will be a new game released on, and it's not Tropico, it's something completely different. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I don't want to spoil it and say what it is. I want to keep it a surprise. But it is a very fun game, and I'm spending way too much time in it at the moment, so I might as well make some videos out of it, I guess. So yeah, today we're going to build a lemur habitat for all three of the lemurs that are in the game, the ringtail, the black and white, and the red ruffed one. Guys, so as you can see, we're starting here with a baobab tree because lemurs are from Madagascar. So the two places that the two things that this habitat is heavily influenced by, I mean, there's going to be some Malagasy, and I think that's how you say it, or Malagasy architecture, you know, also for like the little house, but mainly it's based on is it the Tsingy? Let me just give me the Tsingy National Park. Let me just make sure I'm saying that right. Madagascar National Park. But yeah, I think it's a Tsingy National Park, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Tsingy de Namoroka. Yeah, Namoroka. Tsingy de Namoroka. So it's this place with this very interesting rock formation, or like rock formations all over. Like it's a huge mountainous cliff. I don't know. Go Google. Let me put the caption in. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, Tsingy de Namoroka National Park. Go Google this and look at the pictures. Then you'll see like the main inspiration for the look. I'm trying to build them here, but I cut out a lot of what I'm doing here because it's not going to stay these rocks. I'm going to change that after having taken a good nap and thinking about it carefully. So for now, I left it in here just to kind of show how I was thinking about it. Okay, anyway, so the story we're going to talk about, because of the baobabs, is man-eating trees, or scary trees, or just freaking weird trees in general. Like, when I went and did research about Madagascar, this was like the first weird tale that popped up everywhere, and there's so many so many retellings of it. Sorry, I just had to take a sip of my water there quickly. So yeah, I thought about it and I was like, listen, but this is not the first time I hear something weird about trees. I mean, in the Life of Pi, there was that carnivorous tree also, but that apparently is just a plain symbolism. It's not based on anything real. But I've heard many stories like that about carnivorous islands, carnivorous trees. I mean, obviously the carnivorous plant, we all saw Little Shop of Horrors. If you haven't, what's wrong with you? Go watch the Little Shop of Horrors, okay? Feed me. I love that movie. Anyway, so I wanted to do a little bit more digging into it. So I spent about a day now falling into a rabbit hole of tree stories. On Reddit and Tumblr, tree stories. So everywhere on this planet, every single country, or not every single, but every single continent, and most of the well-known countries like the USA, and there's in South America, and then there's in Indonesia, and then there's in India, there's in Australia, there's in Japan, obviously. There's lots in Germany and like Scandinavia. There's everywhere there's stories about either trees that are eating people, trees that are alive, or, you know, trees that can grant wishes. And if we look further back, I'll tell you now the full story about the Madagascar tree now. But if we look back, I just want to say, it's something. It's like the first story in the Bible was about a tree and an apple, and you shouldn't eat from that tree. So trees are definitely something that I feel like there's something more to see about them that I'm just not seeing yet. And I feel like I want to dig even more now into trees, because I've always been like a big fan in real life of trees. So, okay, wait, let's first start with the tales that there are of the trees that I can tell you. So, I mean, number one is the Madagascar tree, the story of the, okay, so somebody posted a story, Edmund Spencer posted a story in 1874 in a newspaper in New York, in a newspaper or something, about this apparent German explorer called Karl Lesche. It changes the whole time also, like that's one of the first red flags of the story. But anyways, apparently he reported encountering a sacrifice performed by the Makoto tribe. I'm saying this, making little freaking, what you call it, signs with my fingers, because no such tribe, anyways, of Madagascar. And this story was picked up by many newspapers. So I kind of read a little bit there off of Wikipedia for a second. I shouldn't do that. But anyway, so I'm going to tell you though what the story, the newspaper thing said the guy wrote. So I don't know what that means, but the slender, delicate palpi with this fury of starved serpents quivered a moment over her head. Then, the tree, he's describing the tree. And so apparently there's a very big tree with tentacles and shit. This Makoto tribe put this lady on top there and then like made her drink something, and then they sacrificed, and then the tree ate her. Like she had to drink something that made her like yummy to the tree, I'm assuming, and then the tree ate her. So, Yep, this guy apparently saw this. But then many years later, in 1955, so I mean this was in 1874. Then in 1955 later on, and I think already in 1880 or somewhere, there was another debunk article about it, but definitely Willie Ley. So remember Willie Ley from the story about the Mokele Bembe? This was the guy that posted the first story about, like wrote the first time about the Mokele Bembe. That's where all the stories came from, right? So that same guy also wrote about this and said that he wrote that it was obviously fake. I mean, okay, so why is it obviously fake, this specific story? Sure, it's fake, but I'm going to get to something that, where there's a smoke, there's a fire kind of thing. But it's fake because the Makoto tribe don't exist, firstly, fam. I went and I did as much research as I can of my own, of the people that have lived in and around Madagascar for as long as Madagascar has been a thing or discovered, like first people there. And as far as I can see, there's never been such a tribe as Makoto. The closest to that is the Mokende or the Mokonde people from Mozambique. That's the closest. But I mean, that's on Africa, in Africa, actually, like on the continent of Africa. So that's some completely different place. I mean, there's no such thing. But does that mean that the whole man-eating tree thing, I'm pretty sure there's also no tree with tentacles. But because people tend to over-exaggerate. But I mean, there is also apparently this tree in South America that also has like it has many serpent-like tentacles that come out of it, and people don't want to go close to it because you'll get struck by one of these things and then die. These serpent tentacle things, right? They sting you or something. I don't know. And then there's vampire vines. That is a thing, apparently, also from Central America. There's lots of stories about shit like that. Listen, there's so many redwood stories, oak, jackfruit. I read a story about a jackfruit that like a jackfruit tree that ate people also. That a story from India, but it's pretty much the same story told over and over and over and over and over again. Then there's the juniper tree fairy tale, which was like this tree that could grant wishes and stuff, but it's more about like what happened under the juniper tree than anything else. So the juniper tree itself isn't really, it just kind of has a little bit of magic as far as reincarnation type of things go. But that brings me to my point that, what if we know trees the way they are, right? These are trees. But, I mean, if we go a little bit to the wonky side of facts and fiction, right? I think that trees are, in a way, we know this scientifically, that trees are connected. They like by their root systems, they can communicate with each other, right? So they're like kind of, not sentient, but they're definitely kind of like fungus also, where they have some kind of intelligence. I wouldn't call it conscious intelligence. I wouldn't call it sentient intelligence, but I would call it some kind of intelligence nonetheless. And because it's not conscious or sentient, this makes me think that it's programmed like a computer. You know, like, because for me, anything that is not thinking on its own must have been made so that it can't think on its own originally, you know. So what if the people who came here first kind of used trees in different ways for, I don't know, for communication or for experiments? I don't know. I'm just, my brain, the thing is, our brains as 4-dimensional human beings, our brains are too small and unevolved to even try and fathom that. It's like trying to explain to somebody from the 1700s what a jet plane looks like and how it works and that it is a real thing. That person will 100% not be able to even comprehend what you're trying to explain to them. In the same way, our brains now are still, they're much more evolved because you understand a lot more, but we're still too unevolved to understand like things from the next dimension, from where though, because I mean, whoever made us, whoever put us here, and we've come to the firm conclusion now. I hope that everybody can understand and believe with me, but if you haven't, stick around, you'll change your mind soon enough. But there's no freaking possible way that we're just coincidence, okay? There's too many things that point into directions, okay? So they have to be much more evolved than us to be able to understand how to make a human being. Like, you get me? Because I'm sure that's possible, but we don't have the technology for that or the mental capacity, brain capacity for it. So I think trees are something that there's a reason why people who are more in tune with like the bigger picture, why they're drawn to trees, why we're all like very into trees and can, like, I don't know if you've ever been on mushrooms, but if you go sit under a tree, go do yourself a favor and eat 5 grams of mushrooms, good, decent mushrooms, go sit under a tree for a while. You'll see shit, man. A tree will never ever be the same to you again. I can promise you that. Like, it's just mind blowing. Like, you can see, I don't know how to, but everybody sees it differently also. So depends on, like, I don't know, but it's similar what everyone sees. You can kind of see the energy going through you can see the tree breathing, man. Tree breathes. So I think trees are very magical, weird things, but as humans have proven over and over and over again, everything they don't understand, they'll turn into some kind of nightmarish freaking myth that scares everyone just because they don't understand it. And I think trees are one of those things. I think that's why there's many good stories about trees also, because I think they're in general what you make out of them also. But I don't think a tree eats people. I don't think that's possible. So yeah, that's what I have to say about man-eating trees and about stories about trees. And then there's still the tree of life also, but I've been thinking the whole time of mentioning it, but not mentioning it because that's something I'm saving for the sacred geometry episode. So we'll get there still. We'll get there. Stick around. This is it's still early days. I've told some very interesting stories, but I just want to see how people react to the kind of commentary I'm making also before I dive really deep into the weirdness. Take you there with me. So, yeah, that's what I have to say. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. At the end, keep on watching till the end, please, because I'd made a special little cinematic route for the Lemur garden to show it off to you. And I'll maybe say a word or two again at the end also. So stick around until the end and enjoy. And there we go. Yeah, let's go do the cinematic. Look. So yeah, on the right, we're going to put tigers next. Those tigers that are up there ahead in the big cage. I just put them there for my students because they wanted to name my tigers. And I couldn't access my previous view where they were living anymore, so I had to bring them over. But I've been breeding these tigers for like 3 generations now. Like the male, the dad is actually like one of the ones called Superman. Yeah, he was named by a child like a year ago already. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video, and please subscribe and like my video and stick around for the other game I'm gonna post soon. I'll say this, I'll give you a clue. I fight very big bugs all the time. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, come check it out later. I don't know when it's going to be out. Sorry that this video was late also, but I'm on holiday, so for a few days, so I'm taking it very easy. I will have it on time next week though, I'm so sorry. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.